Okay, 2016 year in review. Here we go. So this year I started collecting basketball cards, and I've got a few here that I've highlighted. I'm not going to show every basketball card I picked up, but just the keys. So I did get this 87 Fleer Jordan in a PSA 9, and a lot of these I'm glad I bought them when I did, because I acquired, I think, a majority of these before things went totally bonkers over the summer and the prices shot up. Like at one point, I think this card became near $1,000. It's come down a little bit since then, but yeah, so obviously one of those I'm glad I got when I did, and there's a few of those in here. So the 87 Fleer Jordan and the PSA 9, the 96 Kobe Bryant. This is a Topps Chrome rookie card in a 9. I got a 2009 or 2009 Steph Curry base card, base Topps card, not the Chrome, not anything special, just the base card. But I guess these are fairly limited in general, so that's why they command a little bit higher premium over other years of Topps basketball card issues, I think. Okay, so big one here, 2003 LeBron James Topps Chrome. Bought this before he won the NBA title with the Cavs, and so this one has seen a nice bump. And I also picked up a few 86 Fleers. This James Worthy, and these are all PSA 9s. And not even his rookie card, but his first Fleer card. His rookie card probably is more like one of those Star Company issues from 83, 84, which I don't think PSA even grades because they're so easy to counterfeit. So a lot of people migrate towards 86 Fleer as the first legitimate issue. And here's a Barkley rookie card. And the Patrick Ewing. So what might be possibly a collecting low light, okay, is this Topps Scoring Leaders. It's a Bird, Johnson rookie card, and Julius Erving. So what I mean by this is that today when I was pulling out of my PSA slab page, I noticed it was a little sketchy here, and I ran my fingernail and I was able to pop up around this edge. So I put a piece of tape here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it out to PSA to get reholdered, along with getting my Mantle 64 Mantle and 93 Jeter finally graded. But, you know, a couple things. One, I don't know who... I think these are hard to counterfeit, first of all, because they got the perforations here. And I think if you're going to counterfeit this card, aren't you going to make it a 9 or a 10 and not an 8? So worst case is that maybe this was compromised, and I did check the cert number, and it is an 8 for this card. Maybe somebody slid out the 8 and popped in one of lower grade, but you know, I looked at this really close. It still looks like an 8 to me. So maybe just the age of the flip and the fact that I kind of have to wrench it a little bit to get it out of the PSA slab page. Maybe I caused this because, you know, when I first got it in, I did inspect it pretty carefully for frosting and things like that. So I don't know, but I did break off a little bit of a tab here, and well, I'll keep my fingers crossed that it's legit. Fortunately, I did purchase this before the big spike, but it's gonna suck if it comes back as something lesser than what it is. But I mean, it has that print mark there. So again, if you're gonna counterfeit cards, I mean, are you gonna counterfeit 8s? You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. So could be a low light, could be nothing at all. I'll know probably in the next few weeks because it's gonna go out the door today to get reholdered. So anyway, certainly a key card. This Bird Irving Johnson. Big card of the 80s for basketball for sure. Moving on, I've got a couple of comic books here. So 2 CGC Bronze Age pickups in an 8.0 grade. Here is Marvel Spotlight number 5. First appearance of the Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, an origin story, and from 1972. So it's certainly a key book to have. And then even bigger, I guess it's all subjective, but this Werewolf by Night number 32, which features the first appearance of the Moon Knight, and it's also an 8.0 grade. So I'm kind of at a crossroads of my CGC collecting in the Bronze Age. There's not a whole lot left for me to get. There's I guess the last remaining big book is Iron Man 55, which is the first appearance of Thanos, which you'll see in the next Avengers movies. But it's a really expensive book, and I can't justify paying that just for that. that appearance. I don't think I'm not that interested in Thanos as a character. Of course, a lot could be said about this book as well because this is kind of expensive too. But and beyond that, I mean, I'm thinking maybe there's a Marvel feature #1. There's a Conan the Barbarian #1. Some Neil Adams Batman books. But I don't know. The next time, I have nothing on my radar for 8.0s from the Bronze Age. So that's why you haven't seen these in quite some time. But I did get these 2 this year, and it could be the last 2 for a while. I guess time will tell. So that was the big pickups on the comic book front. Moving on to football. Got a few here. I bought a lot of football cards this year, and there's a lot of recent videos on those. But I picked out about 4 cards that I guess are probably the best of what I have so far. And so I have this Elway rookie, 84 tops and a PSA 9. And the Marino and a PSA 9. And the last 2 are the biggest ones. And I got this Montana rookie in a 9. And then more recently I got the Tom Brady Bowman Chrome in a 10. Why I went with a 10, I have no idea. When I got 9s and everything else. But I did. Two surefire... well, he's already in the Hall of Fame, but definitely two solid cards to pick up in any grade. But the higher grade, the better, obviously. And so there's a lot of other football cards that were added to my collection in the last couple months, but these are probably the biggest. And still would like to add to this with 86 Rice and Steve Young, and then possibly move into some of those USFL cards. But we'll see. And so that's it for football. And lastly, baseball. So we got about a half dozen or so here. I have this 71 Dusty Baker and Don Baylor rookie card, and an 8, part of my key cards of the 70s collection that I have. And along those same lines, I have the Schmidt rookie in an 8. And I got a really good price on this. So good that I even questioned its authenticity as well. But this case looks solid. I probably just got lucky when I bought that one. And then I added the Brett. Really nicely centered. Maybe a little bit of an overpay. I did check recently sold auctions and not much, if at all, but I think it's a higher end 8 for sure based on the centering. And it was the Schmidt and the Brett which kind of finished out that little run of key cards. The Baylor and the Dusty Baker I kind of added after all that, just because it's a high number, and I guess it's a tough set to get in high grade, the 71. And so on the more modern front, what do I got here? I got this 87 Bonds Glossy, Flair Glossy, in a PSA 10. And I did pick up a lot of baseball this year, a lot of 80s cards, but the cutoff for this video, I think I decided that anything that was more than $100 I would throw in this video. I still left out a couple that fit that criteria. Like I did pick up a 73 Clemente in an 8. I think I paid more than $100 for that. And then I had some other baseball cards which are right on the fringes of that, but I don't want to drag this video out too long. Up next, I got the Han Solo and Carbonite PSA 10. It's the 81 Topps Ricky Henderson, second year 10. Not a bad card to have for sure. And I don't think I showed this one yet. Oh no, I did show this with the Tom Brady. I got the Jeter Stadium Club Murphy. So my SP is going to go out the door today, and I'm asking for a minimum grade of a PSA 8. I'm really curious to see how that comes back, because that card has been in and out of a top loader, it's been in and out of a screw down, in and out of this, that, and so over the years, hopefully, it looks good. Hopefully I'd be happy with an 8. I just hope it doesn't get that minimum size requirement bullshit that those cards seem to get a lot, even though they're right from the pack. So this Jeter is maybe his second best, but then somebody pointed out that the Upper Deck Gold Label, that's a much rarer card though, that actually commands a much higher price than this in a PSA 10, right behind the SP version. But still a good card to have. And this is from the Stadium Club Murphy set. And that's it. That's it for 2016 as far as the key highlights are concerned. You know, I had a couple of Star Wars items I could have thrown in here, but I'm going to make a separate video for those probably after I make this one or finish this one, because this is my 200th video. And some of my goals for next year, first and foremost, not to buy as much stuff, and maybe get a little more focused. And I'm kind of OCD with my collecting, where I'm one thing and I go to another thing, I go to another thing. I'm sure a lot of you people could empathize with that. But I would like to finish my original Marvel Star Wars comic run. I'm like 95% of the way there. What else? I'd like to... Shit, I had some other stuff I wanted to do. I mean, add more football cards. I think I already mentioned that. But really just kind of tone it down. And having said all that, watch me, you know, kind of break my own little rule. But anyhow, I'm really hoping this card comes back as legit and it maintains the same PSA 8 grade. If anybody has any thoughts on this, feel free to comment below. Again, I don't think it's an easy card to counterfeit because of the perforations. But what the hell do I know? So fingers crossed. Anyway, that's it. 2016, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.